President Ivan Duque bid contracts for close to $110,000 million 3 weeks before the end of his term. The two contracting processes seeks to award internet connection services on the island of San Andres.
Less than a month before the end of the current administration, the awarding of two contracts for a connectivity project for San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina is moving forward. These are two processes already published in the SECOP2 platform for $50,263,638,950 pesos and $66,175,546,170 pesos, respectively, with the same contractual purpose: to execute the fixed internet connectivity project and public access solutions Wi-Fi zones in the archipelago of San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina, obliging to carry out the planning, installation, and maintenance of the infrastructure to provide the service under the technical conditions established in the technical annex. The bidding process, which has already completed the stages of market research and the publication of the draft specifications, the latter with responses from interested parties on July 8, is pending the publication of the final specifications scheduled for July 18. According to the bidding process schedule, the deadline for submitting bids will be August 8, that is, one day after the inauguration of President-elect Gustavo Petro. The Fontec contracting unit is in charge of the two contracts, which exceed 110,000 million pesos. These resources will be awarded if the process continues as it is going in the next few days, less than 3 weeks before the end of the Duque government.
The coordinators of Gustavo Petro's campaign in San Andres installed in recent days the territorial debriefing sessions in order to know from the community the real situation of the department.
25 roundtables were installed on the island in recent days by coordinators of President-elected Gustavo Petro in order to know the current situation of the department and just be able to provide an adequate route of work to the incoming government.
Esta es una política nacional.
This is a national policy that was entrusted to us as managers to install the debriefing sessions before August 7th. The aspirants to the coordinations were presented, and today they are working in the Casa del Educador with their support groups.
The logistic manager Leonardo Garibello refers to the importance of these work sessions.
Lo más importante es identificar.
The most important thing is to be able to identify the shortcomings of this incoming or outgoing government so as not to continue making the same mistakes, to look at the strengths of the government as well, because there may be or have been successful programs, and to show the president-elect that we want for the future of the islands. There are 25 working tables installed by representative sectors in the department, such as sports, culture, environment, racial affairs, foreign relations, which is Gustavo Petro's priorities.
In conclusion, they hope that with these working groups, they will be able to identify the main issue that the incoming government should handle in order to prioritize the needs of the racial people.
San Andres is once again nominated for the World Travel Awards as the best living beach destination in South America, since it is considered to have one of the best beaches in the South American continent.
In recent days, the nominees of South America for the 29th annual edition of the World Travel Awards were announced, and again Colombia appears on the list of nominees of the most important tourism awards in the world. San Andres repeats nomination for the third year as leading beach destination in South America. It should be noted that this is popularly known as the Oscars of tourism. These awards recognize the best destinations, hotels, products, and initiatives of the sector globally. All those interested in supporting San Andres can vote for the best beach destination until July 29 on the www.worldtravelawards.com/vote platform.
Preventive measures from the corporation Coralina to works that is being done in Sun Bay Beach.
The Coralina Environmental Corporation has established a preventive measure against workers involved in the construction works to improve the road and the sound-bearing road. The corporation received a complaint stating that workers were manipulating the sand in this coastal area. In images that circulated on social networks, heavy machinery was also evidenced on the sunny area of the sector. For this reason, the Coralina Corporation approached the place and established the following.
We get to notice this with the support of the community, that the machine, when they're in the sand and in the seaside, basically, well, we understand say plenty time during the works, they have to go by the sand side if can make the work on the wall, the contention wall that them they work on. But we evidence them over past the line for what they have to do. They go to the seaside over the coral reef. So basically, we make one suspension of the activity with a measure that we have in the corporation, that is the Flagrancia Acta. So with that measurement, what we do is suspend all the activities that they do in the seaside until they give us the document that we can evaluate and understand what kind of impacts can be come out of these activities that they make.
The measure that was imposed seeks to pass the work so that a true investigation can be carried out to determine the seriousness of the damage that has been generated.
And in an operational synergy between the San Andres Coast Guard Naval Aviation Special Forces Commands of the Caribbean conducted special maritime assault exercise in San Andres waters.
Integrating surface and air naval assets in an operational synergy between the ARC, Victoria and Naval Aviation Helicopter and URR of the Coastal Guard of San Andres commands of the Special Naval Forces of the Caribbean conducted special maritime assaults, exercising the archipelago of San Andres, Providence and Santa Catalina. This is part of the training of the Surface Naval Air and Marine Infantry units, which seeks to strengthen and maintain the Colombian Navy's special capabilities in the Caribbean and highest level of the readiness.
The traditional parade of July 28 returns to the archipelago, where the streets of the island will be flooded with colors and music by the peace bands and military forces. Here we show you the program for this important national date.
As part of the commemoration of the 212th anniversary of Colombia's independence, the July 20 parade in the archipelago will begin with a formal ceremony with the authorities at 7:30 a.m. at the Sagrada Familia Cathedral. From there, the military forces will march with a floral offering to the Simón Bolívar Park, where they will pay homage to the liberator. The traditional parade of the peace bands of the educational institutions on the island will be at 9:30 a.m. and will start from the Simón Bolívar Park, extending along 20 de Julio Avenue, then turning to Americas Avenue with 4th Street. The peace bands will follow the route up to the Barracudas Crossroad, where they will continue along Newball Avenue and will end at the Coral Palace Plaza. This will be the first parade to be held after the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. For the development of the activity, there will be road closures in the aforementioned and surrounding areas for the controlled passage and access of residents and tourists to the area.
And now let's get to know other facts that are making news in our brief news section of today.
The Health Secretariat conducted the Situational Room for the Prevention of Suicidal Behaviors in the department, which integrates different actors of the community, public and private entities and social organizations, taking into account that mental health is intersectorial. With the initiative, the entity seeks to establish a work route that allows the prevention of this type of behaviors. Officers of the GAULA carried out prevention activities at the Gustavo Rojas Pinilla International Airport, where they provided security recommendations for those entering the department, as well as the hotlines for the different crimes that may occur. The Environmental Protection Group of the National Police rescued a species of wildlife, a boa constrictor snake. The status of the snake was verified, and together with the Coralina Environmental Corporation, the animal was released in the Old Point mangrove swamp.